As the other young Turk on the panel, Kairav engineer, we have been talking of how do you sustain the PVC pipe industry amidst competition. So people are talking about challenges being faced by the metal pipes to the PVC pipe or plastic pipes in general because there are lobbies. It is not just the merit that decides which is the best pipe, but there are lobbies which can influence some of the decisions of the purchasing bodies, be it government or private. So do you think that it's a challenge?
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, sir, for the question. The only thing that can really destroy the Indian PVC industry is the industry itself, because there have been a lot of concerns of late about the quality of PVC pipes that are being made in the country. And with new entrants coming into the market, there have been a lot of disruptive forces, especially in the organized branded play, that has somewhat shaken the confidence of the end users. And by end users, I would say some of the key developers of the country and some of the good plumbing consultants who are now looking at alternates to PVC and CPVC. And a big knock on the door is happening by PEX and followed by polypropylene in the drainage system. See, PVC is not going to be replaced in a lot of applications that it currently is in. But when you talk about plumbing and drainage, where you deal with water inside a residential building and with wastewater inside a residential building, it is key for the health of the building. You know, it is key that you use good plumbing product and the plumbing and drainage product performs as per the standard, as per, you know, what it should do. But the moment it doesn't, the overall health of the building deteriorates. And that gives entry to newer polymers and to newer technologies coming in to replace the somewhat traditional drainage and plumbing applications of PVC.
So, specific to the metal pipes, what is your view? You didn't answer that.
No, I don't think there is any sort of threat from metal pipes at the moment. Yeah. Metal pipes do dominate certain sectors like industrial applications and in the fire sprinkler applications, but there is also a nice revolution going on by CPVC is replacing metal in some of the fire sprinkler applications across key metros in India. So I think there is no major threat as such from metal, but from other polymers, yes.
And if Indian economy has to reach a $5 trillion size by maybe in 5 years from now, the heart of that is infrastructure. And if the infrastructure has to support, then PVC has to support. So it's a kind of symbiotic relationship between the economic growth and infrastructure and PVC. And when we talk of PVC again, the heart of PVC industry is pipes. Like our body, the heart is connected with so many pipes all over. The PVC industry cannot survive without pipe industry, which is a major contributor, as you all know. Here we have got a panel of 6 stalwarts from the industry. Of them, about 4 have spent between 30 and 40 years in the industry. And then we have 2 young Turks who are taking over from their elders. Probably they're the third generation. So I am going to pose a few of the questions which is generally in the minds of most of the people who are present here, so that we can expect them to give their views on how the PVC industry or pipe industry going to be in the future and what kind of challenges it faces and how to make it robust. So let me start. The first question will go to Nihar. Nihar, we have seen that PVC pipe industry has gone through a terrible time over the last 3 years. First, the COVID impact, then supply disruption, then erratic price rise, then dramatic crash, and then things are coming back to somewhat of a normalcy now. So, how do you see the industry has been impacted over the last 3 years?
Sure. I think before I answer the question, I think thank you to the audience. I think it's been a long day with the last session. So Thank you for bearing with us, and we'll try to keep our answers as insightful and sharp as possible. So I think, Naik ji, the past 3 years, while I do agree there has been extremely challenging times, considering the volatility that we've seen in commodity prices, especially PVC for us. I think as an industry, we've still been fairly resilient despite these challenging times, and we've seen opportunity in these challenging times. So despite this volatility, pipes industry has been able to have, I would say, healthy growth relative to other building material segments. And I think the source of this growth has been a very strong consolidation that we've seen. The organized players have been growing at a faster pace, coming together, which is, a more healthy sort of competition. And I think we need to do more in terms of being united and looking at more applications within plastic piping, which I'm sure we'll cover going forward in this panel discussion. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Thank you.
We are expected, but the price is gone to near about to $2,000. When it's gone, local price 160 rupees plus came. Immediately the people, as major companies are almost, they cut down the production by more than 40%. And as you tell, scrap and calcium, HDP pipe also included, all the government projects has converted to PVC to HDP. HDP is not increased that much. That's why they changed it, and now again we are expecting, but it is not coming like that. And we expected column pipes also gone very high. That time HDP pipe used. Now again column pipes coming. If the price up and down, it should not be that much not required.
Yeah, so, I mean, very fact that there is 32% growth indicates that whatever happened was momentary and things are back to normal, right?
At that time, when there is no price-wise you gone up, not quantity.
Okay. Okay, you have capacity addition now. Because of, we heard about 32% growth, we heard about extremely good demand because of very high, very good, very low prices, which triggered some demand, replacement demand and all that. Do you think there is scope for capacity addition?
What I could understand from the industry is we see the extruders being added by most of the large players. They have grown from multi-location places with multi-product basket. They are growing into that. And the average capacities, what I could understand from the industry, is around 7 to 10% is on an average. The capacity has been added from the extruder point. Maybe it can be from the replacement, or it could be a new expansion there. So what I see is on an average is around 10% you can see from the piping industry there.
I mean, with the demand growth at 6-7%, a 10% growth means that the industry is more optimistic about the future. Can we conclude like that?
I would say because the utilization of our extruders are around 75%.
Yeah, right.
So if you calculate that way, it comes to around lower
Exactly.
to that. Yeah.
Thank you. So government is a major agency that procures pipes. How do you see the policy of the government towards PVC pipe procurement of late? Whether the Jal Nigam, whatever distribution, various government bodies keep procuring. Do you think there is any change in their stance, or it's there is a positive thrust towards it?
See, there could be a temporary shift or change in the government's purchase program. But then, logically, ideally, what happens is the cycle time for preparing a DPR, and by the time the tender gets over, and by the time the procurement starts, it's more than 12 to 18 months. And in between, the time came when the prices of PVC were extremely high.
Yeah.
So when the prices were high, definitely there is a transition, and no doubt about it. Just a general statistics. There are roughly around, I think, 950 BIS certification licenses for PVC. 10 years back, there were in HDP, there were less than 100, something around 70 or 80. Today, yesterday's count, it is 916. So that itself is an explanation that, you know, the HDP pipe industry has grown to that extent. But then, majority of this expansion or this addition has come from PVC pipe manufacturers only. So they have balanced it out. So wherever there were opportunities in terms of, you know, government purchase or, you know, in terms of market. Yeah. So majority of the people have, manufacturers have, you know, garnered the opportunity. Okay. So technically it is not that. And some states have still got preference for PVC pipes. Like Gujarat is there, Karnataka is there, to some extent MP is there, Kerala is there. In between, Rajasthan has changed the policy. They changed back again after the price decline. So this is a temporary phenomenon. But then, when the total market is growing, so everybody has to grow. And that
now may I request Naik sir to please hand over the mementos. Mr. Harish R. Pillay. Thank you so much, sir. We can stand for a picture. Thank you. Mr. Jayadev Meela. Thank you, sir. Mr. Ajay Shant. Thank you. That's a long association. Mr. Ashish Agarwal. And we have the budding engineer, Kairav engineer. Like father, like son. And Mr. Nihar Chheda. Thank you very much, everyone. Now may I request Meela Majumdar ma'am to please go and give the memento to the moderator, Mr. Naik. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll take 2 minutes on the dais before we stable because we're waiting for Chetan Bhagat. Thank you very much, everyone. We are just waiting for Chetan Bhagat to come, so we can just be seated on our seats. Kavya, may I request?
Very warm welcome. We've been kind of waiting for this session since morning. And over to you. We don't need to say anything about you. You are a personality and star already.
Wow, what a big conference. Itne log vinyl industry mein hai. Wow, ma'am. And what a crowd you gathered. This is the who's who. I'm so delighted to be here. Last session है मेरा.
आप मतलब the best for the last.
Best पता नहीं इसके बाद है ना drinks. बड़ा मुश्किल होता है compete करना drinks के पहले वाला session. सब लोग कह रहे यार अभी खत्म कर. आगे बढ़. But no, I'm really happy to be here. और निधि मैम से मैंने जब बात की थी कि किस बारे में करेंगे आज का thing. So it was quite a long discussion. मैम was saying कि ऐसे कुछ करो कि लोगों को कोई फर्क पड़े. और मैंने भी कहा कि there is no point मैं आके एक टॉक देके चला जाऊं और ठीक है भाई कॉन्फ्रेंस थी तो टॉक भी हो गई. एक किसी सेलिब्रिटी स्पीकर को बुला लिया, मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर को बुला लिया. एक्चुअली मैं टिपिकल मोटिवेशन स्पीकर हूं भी नहीं. ये मेरा पार्ट टाइम है एक तरह से, बिकॉज आई एम मेनली अ राइटर. तो एक तरह से वो मैं वैसे वाला नहीं हूं, चलो जोश आ गया ये वो सब नहीं होने वाला है. एक राइटर एक रियल बनने की कोशिश करता है, मैं वही रियल बनने की आप लोगों के साथ कोशिश करूंगा आज। और ये मेरा क्यों है साइड पे, क्योंकि अब ये मेरा पैशन है। एक टाइम पे राइटिंग मेरा पैशन था और अब लोगों की लाइफ में एक चेंज लाना, एक बदलाव लाना मेरा एक पैशन है। लेकिन मैं टिपिकल मोटिवेशन स्पीकर, जैसे मैंने आपको कहा, नहीं हूं। मैं भी पहले कॉर्पोरेट में काम करता था, मैं भी बैंक में काम करता था, मैं ऐसी बहुत सारी कॉन्फ्रेंसेज अटेंड कर चुका हूं और मैं हमेशा लास्ट रो में बैठता था और मैं मोटिवेशन स्पीकर को तो कुछ मानता ही नहीं था। सच्ची बात बता रहा हूँ, 11-12 साल मैंने बैंक में नौकरी की, पता नहीं कितने ऑफ साइट्स किए होंगे, और मैं कहता था ये क्या है मोटिवेशन स्पीकर, नहीं होंगे मोटिवेट, करके दिखाओ। वहां से आज मैं कम से कम 500 कर चुका हूं टॉक्स। एक जिंदगी भी मैंने जी है जो थोड़ी अलग है लोगों से। मेरे को लगता है कि फर्क पड़ता है। मेरे को लगता है कि ये जो कॉन्फ्रेंस होती है ना, ये क्यों होती है? एक तो है आप लोग मिलते हो, नेटवर्किंग करते हो, चलो दैट्स वेरी गुड। ये एक मौका होता है अपनी डेली जिंदगी से अलग आने का। जो डेली का काम है, डेली का रूटीन है, उससे वो टूट जाता है जब आप इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में आते हो और आप फिर बैठ के सोच सकते हो, यार मैं अपनी जिंदगी सही तरीके से जी रहा हूं या नहीं जी रहा, मैं ठीक से काम कर रहा हूं कि नहीं कर रहा। और ये मैं आपको इसलिए बता सकता हूं कि आई थिंक आप लोग ऐसे मुझसे यंग ही लग रहे हो, पर मोर और लेस मेरी एज जोन में हो आप। हम कह सकते हैं अपने आप को मिडिल एज्ड, मिडिल, समवेयर इन द मिडिल तो हम है ना। मैं अकेला नहीं हूं, मेरे बैचमेट्स हैं, वो भी एक्चुअली आई थिंक ओल्डर। फ्रंट रो के हिसाब से मैं सेम एज हूं, पीछे वाले रोज से थोड़ा ओल्डर हूं। आई टर्न 49 लास्ट वीक। I can still say I'm in my 40s, but not for very long. My friends, my batchmates, वो सारे आपकी तरह हैं, बड़े बड़े एग्जीक्यूटिव, बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियों में लगे हुए, बड़े बड़े बैचमेट्स। एक मैंने बड़ी अजीब बात देखी, आज उनके पास इतने पैसे हैं जितने हमारे पास कभी नहीं थे, यू नो, लेकिन सारे इतने खुश नहीं है। मैं सच बात बता रहा हूं। इंग्लिश, सॉरी आदे, आई एम सॉरी, sorry, in the English better? Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, so far I didn't say much, I just said I'm really good. No, I'm telling these people that I'm in my 40s, and most of you are in your 40s, some are late 30s, some are early 50s. If it's okay, I can call it midlife now. And a lot of my friends, my college mates, my batchmates are like that. I'm not a typical motivation speaker. I'm a writer, and I've also worked in banks. I will tell you more about my journey. And I have been very skeptical of motivation speakers. But today, after 500 talks, I feel it can make a huge difference. If you connect to that speaker, if you connect to the words. And I will only feel satisfied if there is a difference after this. So what I'm going to say is somewhat important, is going to be brutally honest, because you guys are like my friends. You guys are like my batchmates. Some of you might actually be my batchmates, you know. And like I said, a lot of people are not that happy, or they feel they've lived their life, but it could have been better, or something is missing, or there is a gap, or there is a void. I have been through that, and I'm going to teach you or tell you how to fix it. I'm going to tell you to change your life today. However, this presentation has two parts. One is my talk today, but no talk, no video, no book, no motivation is going to work if it is accompanied, unless it's accompanied by part 2, which is action. You must change something after today's talk in your life. Honestly, I'm saying. Otherwise, it's just entertainment. You know, I come, I do ha ha he, I make some jokes, I talk about something, I go back, okay, let's have our whiskey, go home. We can do it that way. The whole world is working that way. But why am I here then? Why can't I just go write books? Why can't I do nothing? I get royalty from my books. I don't need to do anything. Why am I here? Because it's only good if it has an impact. And that impact will come if you listen to my entire thing. You don't have to listen and agree with everything, but you change one thing about your life after today. Do we have a deal? Yes? I talk, you act. Deal? Just say deal. Deal? Only front row deal? What is this? Do we have a deal? Deal. One last time. Deal? Yes. Saying something. Nothing major. I'm not saying go and like, you know, tell your family I'm done with you guys or anything. But change something. And I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what you can change. Okay, can we have the PPT? So for those who don't know me, many people know me here, some don't know me. I'm going to talk to you about my journey a little bit, very quickly for that purpose, and how I have done things differently. Anybody who reads a lot of books here? Somebody who reads books? Arey wow, thank you so much. There are still people who read books. If you ask literature experts, they will tell you, Chetan is not some great best author. I'm not, you know, you're agreeing also. Good. No, but you like me. Exactly. It is true. They are right. I'm a mechanical engineer. I swear I can discuss PVC better than literature with you. Because that's my training. I can. Ma'am was trying to tell me, so what denial is? And I said, ma'am, I know. I've done this. How have you done this? Because mechanical engineering teaches you everything. Okay. They will say he's not the best writer. And yet, I am your chief guest today. I am on stage. Where is the best guy? You don't even know where he is. So, that also happens in life. And from such people, you can learn a lot. If you get Sachin Tendulkar here, and you will get very inspired, wow, Sachin, Sachin. But then you know, you can't move the bat like him. So what do? When you see people like me, you feel, yaar, iski nikal padi to hamari bhi ho sakti hai. You feel like if he can do it, then we can also do it, yaar. What is the big deal? People like me can teach you a lot more. When you're not the best, but still you are the most prominent. You are the one who's on stage. Why? Because I'm not the best author. I'm the best-selling author. Remember this in business. This is what matters. Are you the best-selling? Because the customer decides that. The reader decides by this. Best, who knows? Who decides best? Some teacher is deciding, some jury is deciding, but best-selling can be measured. I'm the best-selling author. I have the most recall of all authors in India, and that is why I'm on stage here. And I'll tell you how that happened. How did that happen when you're not the best, but you're best-selling? I'll teach you for yourself and for your kids. Okay? I'm not the best because this is my background actually. For those who don't know, I told you I've worked in corporates. I've worked in banks actually, a lot of banks. So I've worked in Goldman Sachs, Deutsche Bank. House husband is my current job. It's not a bank, just FYI. It's a pretty good job. Why do I do what I do? I am doing this to create a change in the country. I write to create a change. And I have a two-step process. First, I entertain people. You are interested in listening to me because you've seen the movies, 3 Idiots, 2 States, you've read the books, great, right? That makes you interested in me. Once people are listening to you, you can give them some positive knowledge, which I'll give you today, which is happening today. Or when I write in the newspaper, I can talk of national issues. I get more visibility because I have entertained people. First, entertain, then you inspire. That's my strategy. That's why I do certain things the way I do. And I am not the best, so how does the person who's not the best win in life? By constantly changing the game, right? That is what I have always tried to do. Winners can be better than others, like Tendulkar, who has the most runs. But there are other people who win in life. If you remember your class in school, the guy who used to come first, I'm sure he's not making the most money today. Why did that happen? Think about it. Because of life. Life always has people which win despite not being the best. I'm going to tell you one quote today, which is the driving force of my life and my career and your industry and your career. If you just remember this. This is not a quote from a management guru. This is not the quote from a business leader. This is the quote from a biologist who studies nature. Charles Darwin, everybody has heard of him. He is an evolutionary biologist. He used to study nature, how species have evolved, right? And he said one thing. It is not the strongest that survives. It is not the most intelligent that survives. It is the most adaptive that survives in life. The one who says, I'll adjust. The one who says, it's okay, things are changing, but I will change with it too. Is your industry changing? I can bet it is changing. Who will win? Not the strongest guy. Not the most intelligent person sitting in the office. The one who says, you know what? Change is good. Let's change. Let's change with the times. That is what. In Hindi, the people who say, chal theek hai. It's okay. So what? Something has, most times people are hesitant to change. Anything changes in your life, personal life, career, whatever, you are like, why is it changing? I like it the way it is. But the moment you say, it's okay, change is good for me, that itself will make you a winner. You don't worry about being strong. Don't worry about being best author. Nobody even knows who the best author is, right? Just remember this one thing. And I'm going to explain with an example so that it is drilled into you and you never forget in your entire life. This is my mascot in life. This is a cockroach. Nobody ever shows a cockroach. I've at least shown a cartoon, because if I showed you a real one, you'd be like, what are you doing? Because they are disgusting looking, right? This is a cute one. Now, why people like tigers, people like lions, eagles? Why cockroach? Why is cockroach my mascot in life? Nobody respects them. Why me? I'll tell you why. Cockroaches are amongst the most adaptive creatures on this planet. They have been around for millions of years. They were there when dinosaurs were there. Dinosaurs at one time were the kings of the land, biggest animals. Now they're all gone. Ice started melting, they couldn't survive. Because they can't adapt. They're gone now. All the dinosaurs of your industry will also be gone. I'm telling you. And the cockroaches will thrive. And I'll tell you like me. Because in literature also, there is full of people like, I'm intellectual, I'm so great. You know what is dinosaur? Ego. Ego is dinosaur. The people with ego that we know, we are the best, we are the biggest. No. The world is changing. Cockroaches don't think like that. Dinosaurs, earth started melting, oh my god, dead. Cockroaches are like, okay, we used to live in the jungle. Now we have to live in Bandra, it's okay. What is the big deal? Oh, we used to eat insects and leaves. Now we have to eat Kellogg's. We'll eat cornflakes, fine. Adapt, adjust. One of the ways you know that a species is doing well is if they are reproducing. If they are reproducing, they are happy. Only happy people can reproduce. It's very hard to do when you are stressed. It's the nature of the job. Cockroaches reproduce everywhere. You'll find their eggs everywhere. In the car, in the sofa, in the bathroom, in the kitchen, in the garden. It's fine. Okay, unconventional place, but fine. At night, female cockroach, male cockroach meet. Male cockroach like, okay. Female like, here it's a cold Italian marble. It's like, but my heart is warm. She's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Parso chacha ji mar gaye hain spray mein. Day before, uncle has died in the spray. And now you are doing this. Let's get another uncle. Let's get his reincarnation. That's how they are. Cockroaches get used to the spray. It's like single malt to them. Let's go get some Baygon. Think about this, guys. Think about it. There are companies in this world, like Baygon, Hit, who have big multinational, they have HR, finance, accounts, factories, marketing, distribution. They must be there, no? They are going in the morning, a guy is going to work, his son asks him, Dad, where are you going? I'm going to work. Why are you going to work? We are going to kill cockroaches. Have they been able to? If they do, they won't have a job. But they have not been able to. We have killed almost all our tigers now. We are really trying to protect them. Cockroaches, no such thing. Nobody's trying to protect. Is any government trying to protect cockroaches? Is there any society for protection of cockroaches? There is no social stigma. There is no government protection. There are multinationals out there trying to kill them, but they are thriving. Nuclear holocaust also they can survive. What is Begon going to do? That's the attitude you need. Now you see the cockroach and see the different respect. This is what you need in life. What your kids need in life. Your next generation needs this. You need this. Because otherwise, it's dinosaur. Humility makes you a cockroach. Arrogance and ego makes you a dinosaur. Very simple. Humility is, things are changing, I have to change with it. And that's what I've done, and that is what has made me known. For example, I mean, this is my first book, 5 Point Saman, and since then I've written many books. I'm not going to go into details of all this given time and all. But I realized that no matter how successful my books are, I cannot reach Indians, maximum Indians, which is my goal, if I just do books. I have to do one thing, how Indians love their stories. You know how Indians love their stories? Movies. Bollywood. Indians love Bollywood, right? This gentleman who's come from Agarwal agrees, the whole country is a movie. We are Bollywood. The whole thing is a one big Bollywood set, our country. And so, I had these movies. You've seen them, right? Okay. I entered this, and this was an adaptation. And I'll tell you why what is the adaptation first, and then I'll tell you what was tough about it. Firstly, apart from the fact that they are movies in Hindi and a very different business model, all that is separate. I'll tell you what was the hardest part. When my books became successful, I was a star in that field. #1 seller. Nobody had ever sold as many books in India. But in Bollywood, nobody reads. I want to go there and adapt a book. They work differently. I've worked in banks where, like, it's multinationals. You start meetings on time. You do everything. Bollywood, they call you at 9 o'clock. They will show up at 2 p.m. That's the culture. And in the books world, I'm a star. I had publishers coming to my house, bringing sweets. You know how the Indian way? Please sign the next book. This, that, blah, blah. Like, I'm great. They were feeding me, massaging my ego all the time. In Bollywood, they were not answering my calls. I would go, they will make me literally wait outside for 4 hours in the meeting. And then he will meet me. Then I was like distracted. Then like, okay, what is this English book, this, that. It's not easy. Think about it. When you're doing well in your business, you are respected, you are making money, you are profitable, but you want to try something new. But when you go there, you're not respected. Nobody cares about you. You're trying something new and you're like, not a winner, not an expert, you're nothing. And you say, you know what? I'll go back to my world. And that's what other writers do. That's why other writers don't have their movies back because they can't take it. They can't take that disrespectful culture. I'm being honest. But you know what I thought? What would a cockroach do? Cockroach would say 9 o'clock, 2 o'clock, it's okay. Let me make some calls. Let me work out of his office today. Let me enjoy his air conditioning. It's okay. He'll meet me, no? Like this, I managed to break into this industry.